Welcome to the broadcast. This one's going to be a good one, everybody. It's Stan Morris along with you at 3:08. Some computer errors are keeping me from appearing on camera today, which I'm really disappointed about because I was hoping to smile at y'all. But I don't get to do that today. So, unfortunately, I'm sitting here in a suit off camera, which is kind of self-defeating. But nonetheless, we're going to be covering a lot of news today. We've got some stuff that's positive stuff to cover. In fact, the big story that I wanted to cover today was that the Special Olympics torch run is happening, and it's bringing smiles all across Jonesboro. Early this morning, I was out on Caraway Road, down and up Highland, and also on Red Wolf Boulevard, and got to see the runners out there. A lot of folks that were sweating it out to try to do some good for Northeast Arkansas and for Special Olympics. And so in the midst of all this stuff that's going on, and I'm thinking we've got Election Day stuff going on, and I'm going to cover that. And I know I've got to go back and cover some of the stuff from last night. In the midst of this all, and hello, Sherry, who's in chat. It's good to see you. In the midst of this all, I start getting messages saying, hey, did you say this? Is this you? And it's messages from people where I sent a troll a hateful message, as I do. I don't shy away from that. If you come to my page and you troll me and you endlessly troll me, eventually you will poke the bear until the bear wakes up. And if you haven't figured it out, NEA report exists because it's the bear that wakes up whenever things go wrong. And so, what's going to happen today is we're going to set the record straight, show you guys some of the posts, because this woman went online and she made a very poor, pitiful me post, and she said that, amongst other things, we were mean and we were hateful and we called her a bad name, which, I mean, I don't think I called her a bad name, but I did. I was mean. I'll say that. I kind of called her a name. What she said is much better. I can't wait to show you guys. And, in fact, let me just say this. She had put those Bible verses in there about, you know, treat others well and whatnot, and I agree. I think you should be great to other people. I'm going to show you those Bible verses, and now I got to give you a parental warning because I'm going to show you the messages she sent me, this lovely lady. The messages that said F you. The messages that called me an SOB. The messages that came from the alleged victim, who is now trying to damage NEA report by calling our sponsors. But it's not going to work out too well for her. In fact, she probably don't even realize it, but she's already made me some money. So thank you. The news starts right now, and you can damn well bet we're not. I want to first up tonight get to some breaking news that came in from the Jonesboro Sun, and that's news regarding the death of Devontae Fowler. It happened on April 25th. There's now been a man charged with first-degree murder, according to the Sun. That's Khalid Robertson, 25. That is, again, a short time ago that breaking news came in from the Sun. We will keep following that case as we go forward. There's a lot of developments that have come out of that. Of course, we've seen some folks arrested that have been later pled out. We'll keep following that story. First up tonight, we got to tell you this story to get into what we're talking about in relation to the trolls. It was last night the Walnut Ridge City Council met, and not on the agenda was anything related to the railroad worker lawsuit or the status of the police chief. Mayor Charles Knapp will not answer questions about his police chief, and he's doing this under the guise of not being able to talk about the lawsuit. But here's the problem. It has nothing to do with the lawsuit to say where your police chief is. If he's burning all of his sick leave because he's about to resign and the job's about to go to Officer Brian Archer, for example, I'm just throwing an example out, then we should know about that. Charles Knapp said he had a lunch date and he ran out of the room. That's what happened. So I've got this. We actually live streamed this last night, and I'm going to show y'all this here right now because I want y'all to see the conclusion of the meeting. And I don't want to bore you guys with the facts ahead of time too much, but we are going to be going through some very important details. I am being accused of being inappropriate and asking questions about the lawsuit. So I want you to listen to this real closely and tell me how many questions about the lawsuit you hear me ask. And tell me when he refuses to talk to the press. Is it before we even say a word or after? So a couple of questions there for you to keep in mind. Now watch this.
Any opposed? Thank you all. Meeting is adjourned.
Okay, stand by.
I don't have any idea. Charles. Sorry, gentlemen, I'm tied up and I have no comments tonight.
Okay. Do you have any
If you
confidence
need
in your
any
police
comments
chief?
related to anything related to the lawsuit, as we've said before, contact the Arkansas Municipal League.
Okay, time out. I'm pausing the video because he brought the lawsuit up, and I just noticed that for the first time. He brought the lawsuit up.
To anything
Listen.
related to the lawsuit, as we've said before, contact the Arkansas Municipal League.
Where's your
We
police chief?
are in litigation. Thank y'all.
You can't give any comments to purchase that.
Sorry, gentlemen, I've got a lunch date and we have no comment. I don't know what part you might not understand.
How about
Contact
police
the
chief?
Arkansas
That part.
Municipal.
I can understand about the police chief. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but I said to him, that part. How about the police chief? What about that part? Because that is not related to the lawsuit, guys. And he was being a little bit nasty to us, but that's okay. But he was refusing to answer questions about that
Arkansas
police chief.
Municipal.
I can understand about the police chief. Why can't you tell us about the lawsuit?
just hide.
So, that's what happened. We asked about the police chief. Charles Snap brought up the lawsuit, and then he walked out of the room and refused to talk to us. All right? You guys equipped with the facts? Because here we go. Now let's tell you about Miss Troll. Last night, it happened, just like it happens every single day. We get a ton of troll messages. 26,000 followers. That's almost 27,000 followers. Math joke. But sometimes we get a lot of trolls. And 99% of them we ignore. Because we can't respond to all the messages. And guys, I am so sorry if I don't respond to your messages out there. I know people think I'm ignoring them, and I'm not. I can't go through my inbox. It's hundreds. So when somebody overestimates their intelligence and they come here and they tell me how bad of a person I am, they deserve to be put in their place sometimes. And that's literally why NEA Report exists. We don't shy away from calling bull when it happens. So let's show you the very first post from our troll, Maria Dunhue Langford. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. Hopefully I don't offend you. Says, quote, "How silly of you to sit during the entire session and not ask your questions when the opportunity was allowed during the meeting. Common sense tells you they can't speak about open litigation. That's not hiding anything. That's reality. Asterisk, waste of time." None of that happened. So I'm thinking to myself, what is she watching? And I said, you're clueless about how public meetings work, aren't you? And for the record, the press does not get to just stand up in the middle of a public meeting and say, hey, I want you to tell me about this. That's not how it works. We always go up to the mayor after the meeting and ask him questions. And so I said, how can the mayor refuse to tell the public where his police chief is? I'm just checking, and that has nothing to do with the lawsuit. So here was the next 3 replies that I got for that. Reply number 1, really? Not clueless in the least. Privacy is still privacy. Clueless is someone who claims to be a journalist, all while spewing their personal views instead of just reporting the facts. Have yet to see a real journalist who peddles t-shirts promoting their farce of investigative skills out of their truck. We had so many people telling us that they were going to attend the meeting that we told people, if you want a free NEA Report shirt, we'll give you one. That's peddling. You really liked this. She went on. She was mad, this lady. You really liked your own post? That's sad and almost as clueless as your reporting. She didn't stop there. Before I had a chance to respond to this amazing, lovely woman, she said something that I actually can't pull up. I deleted the 3rd comment because I was actually in the process of banning this person off the page. So, my bad on that one. But trolls are useless. They're not trying to stand up for anything. Trolls are trying to beat down people and do something to people that want to do something in the community. And I was not happy at this point because she was factually challenged. She was wrong. She was hateful, insulting, and nobody's forcing anybody to read the news on this page. If you don't like it and you go away, that hurts my business. If you comment, it makes all your friends see my business and all of them come here to watch me do the news and talk about, what a lousy person you are. So I messaged her and I asked her, and guys, I feel a little bit bad about this when I do, a little bit, but I asked her if she was the 400-pound woman who was glaring at me the entire time that was sitting with the cops. Because someone who facially looked just like her was. Was it nice? No. Was it nicer than Mikado or Kirksey were to Adam Finley? Yes. Do two wrongs make a right? No, and I understand that. So I'm not defending that. All right? That being said, if you message me and you send me hateful things, I'm not going to be nice back. I'm not running for office. All I need you to do is know that I can do some damn fine journalism, and that's it. You're going to show up. I hope I can make as many people like me as I can along the way, because I genuinely love all of the people that watch NEA Report every day. But what I don't love is being attacked, because I want to try to help this area grow and get a little bit better. So this lady began posting a totally dishonest tale of what happens. And folks, I've done stories on before, replied and agreed with her, and a few decided to target my sponsors. Here's what they don't understand. NEA Report literally has so many people wanting to advertise, I'm out of space. And I had to make this show to make more space for it. So if you actually succeed, you cause an old client to fall off at their preferred rate, which is replaced instantly by a modernized rate. That means more money. So weirdly enough, I'm not kidding. They made me money today. All right. Most of my clients know the game. The clients you see on NEA Report have been there forever because they are successes and they know what makes a success. And it's not taking bull when people attack you. It's standing up for yourself, and it's not getting run over, because no matter what, in any walk of life, somebody's going to try to run you over at some point, and they're going to be in the wrong, and there's not going to be any reasoning with them. This idea that everybody has a side and everybody has a... No, some people just... Remember how in The Dark Knight, some people just want to watch the world burn? That's literally true based on my observations in life. So if you're not mad about Mercado assaulting a man for no reason, the city attorney slandering that man to cover up for the cops, the police chief ticketing the man when he filed a complaint, the mayor covering it up and saying only the F word was wrong, the deputy prosecutor charging the guy all the way to court to a not guilty verdict, rather. If you're not mad about any of that, but you got mad because a fat guy called somebody else fat, no. No, that's not. You're not mad. It's called selective outrage. Pretending to be offended by something that would never offend you if somebody that you're friends with or you like did it is a common tactic. Just like blaming the news for crooked governments is a common tactic. It's been used for years. It's being used right now across the nation and locally. And now I want to get to the fun stuff, because I want to tell you what the comment itself was she posted. When you guys see this, I think you guys are going to understand how dishonest this person was. And I just want to point out, I see a few of the points in chat. You're right, calling myself fat does not mean I should be calling somebody else fat. Please stop getting triggered by somebody getting insulted because she came here and started a fight, okay? That being the case, I do wish I would have used other language that was mean in other ways that would not have triggered you to make your comments. But otherwise, no, I am not apologizing for hurting her feelings. I wanted to. I wanted this person who was mean to me to get her butt off of my page, and to realize if you're mean to some people, sometimes they're going to be mean back to you, and that's not always fun. Oh, it's raining outside. Good grief. Sorry. That just startled me. She said, I hesitate to post this, but I realize we as a society need to speak up. Yeah, okay. Speak up for what is right. Speak out for those who can't, and realize that power comes with a lot of responsibility. Last night, at the city council meeting, a, quote, news outlet, it's not debated, I guess she's quoting herself, decided not to speak up during the council meeting, but instead rush the mayor after the meeting, berating him with questions regarding a pending lawsuit. Now, before I say anything else that she said, what happened when we went up to the mayor? Do you guys remember? Let's show you.
The lawsuit, as we've said before, contact Arkansas Municipal League. We are in litigation. Thank y'all.
You can't give any comment as to Kirksey side?
Sorry, gentlemen, I've got a lunch date, and we have no comment. I don't know what part you might not understand.
Any of it. I don't understand anything from Mr. Snap, because we're in a different logic universe right now. So She's lying because we didn't ask pending questions about the lawsuit. That is a lie. Not only did we approach the mayor after the meeting, but the Jonesboro Sun did too. The two most credible outlets in the region. KIT is a training ground for reporters with respect. Not that they earn it or deserve it based on how they treat me, but that's what they are. They're a training ground for reporters. They sign their reporters to 2-year contracts. They pay them $18,000 a year, and that's why you never see a reporter stay there longer than 2 years, because they can't afford to live in a single-bedroom apartment and have a house payment a car payment and work there without carrying other jobs too. We never asked about the lawsuit. We asked where the police chief was. The media is not allowed just to start yelling questions in the middle of a city council meeting. This is so uninformed, it lays the groundwork for the rest of the discussion. I see somebody saying you don't have to be mean to get a point across. Yes, you do sometimes. I hate to break this to you, but there are people that are not using reasoning that just want to be mean to you. That's this lady. Okay? And I'll show you what she said here in a second to actually further that point. Some people don't have a capability to be reasoned with, and they're being mean to you. And sometimes you have to sue them, and sometimes you got to report on them, and sometimes you just tell them they suck. And that's what we decided to do in our own little way this time. So do you think she's mad over that stuff? Do you think maybe she's mad because we're making the police follow the same laws as the rest of us, unlike a lot of news outlets in this area, which are more concerned with political favor than serving the public? What do you guys think in chat? I'm curious because I know what I think. It goes on. Said, quote, journalist then starts crying cover up when his questions, rightfully, feel F can't be answered. No idea what she was trying to say there. What I think what she was saying was that I said it was a cover up, and she quoted me. But I never said it was a cover up in that video. It is. Don't get me wrong. But it'd be nice to be quoted right. That's what you waited for. It's Walnut Ridge Mayor Charles Snapp running out of the room because he doesn't have to speak about his police chief. And that was it. That's where it went. I said, that's why we're here. That's why the press exists. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to leave it on a white screen. Let's see what else we've got here. So, she says, afterward, my personal messenger started blowing up. This journalist not only insulted someone that he thought was me, continued to call me stupid and insinuated I support crooked cops, all while threatening to report me to my employer. What the heck? Anyone that knows me knows, yes, I do support our officers proudly. Trust me, we know. I'm also smart enough, she says, just to know that some should not be in that office just like journalists. When you say some, are you talking about the police chief that covered it up? The deputy prosecutor that prosecuted him? The sergeant that wrote him a ticket for filing complaints? Or the officer himself that actually did this? Because that's 4 officers in one tiny department. But yeah, there's still some good cops. When I Google this reporter, I find a list of assault and drug charges. No, you don't. What you found is an old, slanted, dishonest article from KIT about a fake arrest that happened by several inept Jonesboro police officers who then released the open narrative to a reporter who then took a personal vendetta out against me. Channel 8 and I do not have good relations because I quit working there because I like making more than poverty wages, okay? What can I tell you? They're going to leave the article online. I am not guilty of it. Never had a single charge, drug charge, and my record is 100% clean. You can go pull it, but you won't find anything because it's clean. And this arrest was expunged. But they still leave it there because they're my competitors and they like to try to hurt me, right? And I don't feel the need to really explain much else about it beyond that. But I will tell you, she asked this question, what good are you doing in your community, Mr. Morris? What are you doing that is good and positive in your life? I don't know. We did a series of stories and we had the DID arrests that were being made in Jonesboro that resulted in mentally ill people being fined for having mental illness stopped. I did that. That's not bad. Led to Keith Blackman being voted out of office. We all did that. I mean, I've done a handful of things. I adopted a cat one time. She says, we as a society need to be accountable for our actions. Yes, we do, and at the same time contribute. Here's the good part, folks. Oh, you're going to love this. The folks in chat that are defending her are about to vanish. So get ready. We need to contribute positivity and love and responsibility for our community. I guess I'm going to need to step up my game in the community to help those that you are too busy spewing venom and ignorance to help. Yes. Now she quotes the Bible verses. We'll get to that in a second. Maybe you are going to need to step up your game, Maria. Sort of like when you sent me the message that said I was a son of a bitch. Or maybe like the time that you sent me the message that says that. Yeah? Are you going to have to step up your game, Maria? What about you people defending her in chat? Are you guys going to have to step up the game? Or maybe shut up because you don't know what you're talking about? Here's another great message she said. You've already seen this one. It's sad and almost as clueless as you're reporting. Guess what's sadder than that? Somebody that can't watch a public meeting and discern that reporters aren't supposed to start shouting questions in the middle of it. What a clown. She said, to quote a dear friend, how we live every second of every day will flow out of what we believe about God. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Everything you do. Like this. That flows from your heart, Maria. Miss Langford. I found a good Bible verse. You want to read it? They claim to know God, but by their actions they deny him. What do I know, though? I just want to leave this up here for a few seconds. Because while I'm looking in chat, I want to see what else somebody said. Why don't you post all the screenshots? She says, because you would be here for 6 days reading boredom. I posted and told you what I said first. Then I posted what she said first, which came before what I said, and now I'm showing you what she responded with. You're dumb. Stan, can you bring this amazingness to Northwest Arkansas? I would love to. But here's the problem. I am never going to unite with any business partners or any other crap organization that tries to tell me that I can and can't say certain things on the air. All right? You guys don't get to... You know you've got enough of that. You don't get enough journalism as it is because everybody wants to play politics and be corporate and be super great and nice and get along with everybody. Forget that. You know what? I have no desire to be super rich. I have no desire to be a politician. Do you want to know why I made NEA report? Totally honest. Candor, no script, nothing. It's so people like Maria, when they message me this kind of crap, I can message them back and say, you know what? You stink. You're not a great person. You're a phony. And you're a liar. And you showed it to your Facebook friends who, unfortunately for you, shared it enough to where it actually came back around and got in front of me. And now, all of Northeast Arkansas knows what kind of person you are. So please, if you want to troll me, you have that ability. But don't act like you're the poor, pitiful victim when I respond with something nowhere near as nasty as what you sent me. I answer to the public because I choose to. Politicians are forced to. It's a sad state of affairs that I'm doing more explaining right now than your mayor who covered up a damn police assault followed by charging illegally of the guy. He won't even answer questions, and he brings up the lawsuit we're not even asking about before he stops answering. Oh, but you know what? I'm probably the bad guy here. Let's look in chat. Oh, I love S.L. Robinson. I see her. Hello, it's good to see you. Who else do we got? Everyone tiptoes around the facts. They really do. A lot of folks that got on this girl's page and were posting their comments noted that she blocked them off of there. She blocked me off of her page, too. Her name is Maria Dunhu Langford. And just so you know, yes, Debbie, this is. We have 190 viewers in chat. KIT is not doing anything. Thing about it is, if you send a message like this to someone, or any message, or you just post a comment, it gives page owners the ability to reply, to message you individually. So, if you don't want to get a message from the page, you probably shouldn't comment on their page, right? And that's what happened. So anyway, I'm tired of covering this lady. I hope y'all have enjoyed all that I have wasted my time on with this person. It bothered me a little bit because some people did call me. Actually, not some people. One person called me and acted as though he was concerned about it, although it's very selective because, you know, he's not been concerned about much else. And I think he was concerned over different reasons, and that's fine. All I'm trying to do here is make this area a little bit better. And I'm going to be the first to tell you that I don't have great social skills. And maybe, if you think about it, that's probably why I made my own news outlet. But I try my darndest to be as nice as I can to everybody that watches, and even people that challenge me. Somebody challenged me yesterday named Spencer, and he said, I don't think what you posted here was right. And I said, thank you. Genuinely, I disagree, but I'm also considering what you said because you may be right, and I may be wrong. And if you think I'm wrong and you tell me that, I'm okay with that. I don't like being insulted. Nobody does. It's a human thing. And so if you come to the page and you're a jerk, and we're a jerk back, and you pretend to be the victim, well, hello. All right. So I don't want to do this level of a show and run commercial breaks today, because I don't know that that is particularly fair. So let's tell you some of the other stuff I'm going to be covering. I don't think it's fair to the advertisers that are already getting blown up by this goofball's friends, both of them on Facebook. So right now it's 3:34, and I want to continue covering some stories that did take place today. Some good news. I saw somebody complaining, this is news. Literally, when you post, you're circulating it to everybody across your Facebook news feed. So good job. Here's some of the other stories. Yes, it's election day. If you haven't voted, go vote. Seriously, we need to get out and vote. And if you haven't figured it out, some people around here could probably use a lot more voting happening. Correcting the record is something that we're going to get to right now, all right? Have you seen this thing that happened over the weekend? It was in the Jonesboro Sun. It was a story that said Peck, and we're talking about Dr. Cole Peck. He's running against Dan Sullivan in Jonesboro for District 53, the State House of Representative position. And the mailer that was sent out by Peck evidently contained an error. That was the front page headline. Subheadline was, Incumbent Sullivan believes lie was purposely circulated. Well, we talked to Dr. Peck. Actually, they reached out to us, and they said, we have been showing the Sun something, and they're not listening to us. And I said, okay. And he sent it along to me. And evidently the mailer error that we're talking about was, it said that Dan Sullivan is being investigated, and the actual statement was. So, let me just take a moment to mention, Kathleen Gordon said, by the way, I will go out of my way to use your sponsors because they sponsor you. Thank you, Kathleen, very much. Thank you very much. I hope all of you do that. So on this, that is awesome. This is why I told you guys I loved you guys. That's why. You are so cool. So, Dan Sullivan accuses Dr. Cole Peck of lying. That's what he said. That's what the word said, lying. You can hear me with the newspaper right now. Well, Dr. Peck sent us along evidence that actually showed an investigation had taken place. For some reason, the Jonesboro Sun reported they could not find evidence of this investigation. And maybe they could. I mean, I'm not knocking them on that. But I did. And I also found evidence of a $25,000 settlement paid in 2015 by Ascent, and that is of Jonesboro. And the reason is because of a billing settlement, because they did not pay their bills correctly. That's what billing settlements are for. So, there was actually an investigation, because there had to be a settlement. And that makes sense. So, we've got Dr. Cole Peck on the phone, and I want to ask him some questions about this specifically, because I want to know what's going on. We get him lined up, please. You got him go? Good. I want to know exactly what he says about the error, and I think we got him right now. Let's see.
Sure.
All right. On the phone right now with Dr. Cole Peck, who is running for the District 53 State House position against Representative Dan Sullivan. Got Dr. Peck on the phone as was reached out to us and brought to our attention. Of course, we all read the paper on Sunday. It says that Dr. Peck admitted that the mailer contained an error, and then in the subheadline, it said that incumbent Dan Sullivan believes, quote, lie, I should say subquote, lie, was purposely circulated. Once you dig a little bit deeper into the story, it seems as though the inaccuracy came from the use of the word is, which should have been was, which would certainly not seem like an error on the description side of the word lie, but we are going to talk to Dr. Cole Peck right now. Got him on the phone, and probably at an election place at the moment. So thanks for taking a couple of hot minutes to talk to us, sir.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
Yes, sir. I just want to, let's get right to it. What was the error? It says you admitted to an error in the mailer, and what was that?
So, Mr. Sullivan was being investigated for improperly billing Medicaid. And so we put a flyer out that said he was being investigated. Well, the investigation closed toward the end of April, and so instead of being is, it should have been a was. But that doesn't change the substance of the investigation.
So when did you have the flyer made?
We had the flyer made probably about 2 weeks before it actually went out. And so that would put it, that'd be pretty close to actually when the investigation wound up.
So wait a second. You're telling me that the day of print, because if I print my story today and he's under investigation today, but he's not tomorrow when it comes out, I'm not incorrect. So that seems to put it pretty close. I'm sorry, go ahead. That seems to put it pretty close.
Yeah, yes. So we went on the information that we had at the time.
I see.
And unlike most politicians, we confessed that it should have been a was instead of is.
But your confession has seemed to be turned into, an accusation of a malicious lie.
Yes, and that bothers me on a personal level.
What,
the substance change.
You said it bothers you on a personal level because it's calling into question integrity, basically.
Yes.
What would you like to tell people out there that may have seen that and read that and understood you to be what you're accused of by your opponent?
I would say that it was an honest mistake about the is versus was, but that seems splitting hairs when you talk about the substance. And the substance is that he's billing for services that he did not do, duplicate services, being accused of fraud, and that he did a preliminary investigation, which was converted to a full investigation, which resulted in a clawback of money from his company to the tune of close to $7,000.
Wow.
So their accusations were found to be valid.
And I just want to point out, I did confirm that that 7,000 number, it's actually a little bit over that. I did confirm that before our interview through the report itself. I know that the Jonesboro Sun says that they don't have any stories related to the matter. Did you provide them proof or evidence of the investigation after the fact? Because they seem to maintain that there was no proof of that.
Yes, so we sent them the documents that you have and that other people have, and that's posted on Facebook, and we have no comment from them.
No, they have had no comment?
They have not responded at all to the documentation that we provided them.
I see. That's interesting. Well, I think that's a little bit unusual. Of course, we're right upon the election day. You don't, right now, a lot of folks probably already been voted today. Do you feel like that this was, a sort of a last minute railroading here?
I do. If you look at the story, they're basically accusing me of lying, and I have about, 3-4 sentences. So 90% of the article is my opponent calling me basically a liar. And again, we didn't lie. We made an error in a verb, but the substance stays the same. His company was found guilty in fraudulent billing, incorrect billing. And he had to pay money back. And that's our money. That's the taxpayers' money.
And that's factual. Just for full disclosure, we did verify that before we began the interview, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this. It's last minute, and I really barely have time to get into the full story. But I want to make sure anybody out there that saw that information at least knows the right details. Sir, thank you for taking a couple of minutes to talk to me.
Yes, thank you for having me on, and I appreciate it.
All right, I want to tell you guys what I had wanted to cover all day today, and it's for some reason taken me to this point to actually get to it. This is the Special Olympics torch run. It was going on earlier today. Let's turn that audio down a little bit. So you can actually see some of the runners out there sweating in the heat and going down. This is Caraway Road that they were headed down right there. If I leave the camera up long enough, you guys are actually going to be able to see me waving at a few of my friends that are reporters at Northeast Arkansas News. Of course, I'm going to skip ahead around and show you some more. They actually drove by some of the schools and high-fived all of the kids that were out there today. You guys should have seen it. There were loads and loads of kids that were actually outside and excited to get to high-five some of the men and women that were out there. Let's actually jump back a little bit on that and show you all this. Sorry, there's no time for live editing when the program keeps crashing. But we actually got a chance to do a little bit of an interview. And we spoke with one of the gentlemen that has been behind and involved. There's my buddy Nathan Coleman. One of the gentlemen been involved with making this all come together and happen. And let's hear from him right now.
It's a lot of fun. It's the one time we get out and actually the city gets to be aware of what goes on. We've done this in Fairville, Green County, Clay County yesterday. We had one in Mississippi County, Today we're doing this one here in Jonesboro. Tomorrow we're doing one in Batesville. But they're going on all over the state, which will culminate to Thursday's final leg run from the capital to Searcy for the opening games.
I saw some of the kids over there. They were even asking me, "What is this for?" and so that's kind of a fun question because it's about inclusion and Special Olympics brings a lot of hope to people.
It does. The Special Olympics is a unique.
It's a unique group.
It's a very unique group. The reason is because it not only helps people with intellectual disabilities of all ages, but anybody can participate. We have unified sports, so you can do unified basketball, softball, floor hockey, you name it. Everybody can be included in this, and so all the money we raise here in Arkansas stays in Arkansas to help those athletes that qualify not just for our area games, state games, but also the USA and international games. Arkansas is one of 5 states that actually pays 100% for their athletes to attend these functions. Other states may do like a 60-40 or 50-50. So we're a rarity that we pay 100% of our athletes to attend. The Winter Games this past year, the girl that won the gold medal in snowboarding almost didn't attend because she couldn't raise the money. In Arkansas, that's not an issue. If they qualify, we will send them. So we've got 7 athletes coming from just our area, from Area 7, that's going to the USA Games at the end of June in Seattle. It's roughly cost about $2,000 per person. So that pays for everything. For them to get there, room, board, all their uniforms, equipment, everything they need will be provided for them at no cost.
And this is helping make that happen.
This has helped make that happen with search sales. Also, this helps raise awareness. A lot of people don't know what that law enforcement torch run is actually its own entity. It's the grassroots nonprofit organization to largest donator for Special Olympics.
Is it really?
Yes, sir.
I did not know that.
They're 2 separate entities.
Yes.
And so we, all over the world, law enforcement and firefighters have joined in to help raise money for this great cause. And in last year we raised internationally $65 million to give to Special Olympics.
That's an incredible job. And by the way, I know you've been out here in the middle of running and you took time to stop and
No
talk
problem.
to us, so thank you for,
No problem.
you for that.
They're doing all the running. I'm doing the coordinating today. So I appreciate them.
It's hot enough to count for all
Yeah,
of us,
yes.
I think, though, for sure. But just last question, I want to ask you the smiles. I'm seeing tons of smiles from folks up and down, some special needs, some just everyday folks.
Right.
How neat is that?
It is neat. We try to run to the schools that are in our routes. We're headed up to Centennial Bank, who's one of our large sponsors as well.
Yep.
And we'll pick up some athletes. They're about McDonald's and some at Highland and Red Wolf, and we'll walk in and do a big celebration, end the run celebration. Centennial Bank's going to be cooking for us, so we definitely appreciate all they've done for us in Special Olympics.
Anybody else you want to thank?
like to thank our admin for allowing us to do this. We've got a lot of guys that are out here on the clock. They allow us to participate in this. We've got firemen, Jonesboro Fire Department's representative, Jonesboro Police Department. We've got one guy and his kids from the Black River Technical College. Ashley Bowles, who's an instructor. He's a former juvenile officer in Craighead County. So we try to have a good group that comes out and helps run. Yes.
You know, an awesome thing that's going on out today in law enforcement that are getting out and sweating in the heat to do that. They definitely deserve a little bit of credit for that. I think that's really cool to see everybody in JPD and across the community out. And, you know, it's got a great cause, too. And I got to tell y'all, there's nothing like a smile from somebody that has just been positively affected and that gets to have their life touched by that. So that is what it was all about today. And that is what I was most interested in covering today. And of course, we got a little distracted, but that's okay because sometimes that stuff happens. So I have not yet had a chance to go through the weather, and I'm going to pull up my radar source here. The computer might just crash on us. And if that happens, well, now you're up to date. Sorry, I think I got the hiccups in the last 60 seconds. So here is a look at the radar right now across northeast Arkansas, specifically of significance because in Jonesboro, our little bubble has been burst, and we are getting thunder showers on top of us right now. And so you can see, let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. I'm hearing some thunder outside right now. I hear, let's see, I'm looking through weather reports. Nothing there. Nothing there either. Okay. So over Jonesboro right now, and for our friends in Lake City, just to the west of you, we've got a few thunder showers that are rumbling outside for us. At the moment, we are... I don't believe we're under a severe thunderstorm warning. I know we're not under a warning, and I don't think we're under a watch at the moment either. Let's look at the National Weather Service forecast and get an idea of what we are expecting for today. Of course, I want to remind everybody that our weather is brought to you by New Wave Wireless, home of the $49 iPhone screen repair. Thunderstorms this afternoon, only a slight chance, 20% chance. Maybe that thing we're seeing over us right now is what we're talking about. 87 for the high. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high near 88. Mostly sunny on Thursday and a high near 88. Friday, 20% chance for thunderstorms, but mostly sunny otherwise, another high near 88. It's the same high on Saturday, too, but there is a 40% chance of thunderstorms on your Saturday and a 40% chance on Sunday. It looks like that chance for showers and thunderstorms is going to... Oh, it's Memorial Day next Monday? Oh, sweet! I didn't realize that. Sorry, I get off on holidays. That didn't sound right. So on Memorial Day, showers and thunderstorms likely, and mostly cloudy skies, a high near 87. If you've got outside plans on Memorial Day, you might want to keep in mind 7 days out. Currently, the Weather Service says you're going to get some rain. But when it's that far out, the National Weather Service forecast is not always exact, and so we'll keep watching that. And maybe we'll have a few updates for you, along the way. Maybe it won't rain for your Memorial Day. I don't know. What do you guys... Is it grilling Memorial Day? I'm just curious, what do we do in northeast Arkansas for Memorial Day? For me, I don't do anything. I know I can't think of anything I do. Usually somebody invites me over to eat, and that's generally speaking what happens. Which, I mean, I like to eat. That's my that's one of my problems. Charlotte says it's pouring at my house in Jonesboro. And, Will, we hope you I hope you're weathering the weather pretty well. Weathering the weather. That does not make sense. That may mean it's time for me to get out of here. Subscribe on YouTube if you've not already. We are on there, and we upload the show in high definition every single day, so you can find out what's going on. You can also find us right here on the Facebook machine. You've already found us if you're watching live after the fact. For our friends that are not, we hope you'll come by and see us. And then there is Twitter. And, well, that's just for the crazy ones of the bunch. No, actually, I really like Twitter. That's my favorite one. Follow me at Stan Morris. Follow NEA Report at NEA News. And go out to the lake is what Kathy says she likes to do whenever it's Memorial Day time. That sounds like a good idea. Hope you're having a great afternoon, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to a very unusual episode of NEA Report. I will bring those to you sometimes. And if you haven't had a chance to, we hope that you'll join us tomorrow for more news. Goodbye.